I'm going to show you how I've made this little mixed media piece. It's on a wooden background and it's collaged and painted, and there's some gilding wax and some beautiful sentiments. And I'm absolutely thrilled this week to see that I've broken the 5,000 subscribers. I know there's lots of channels out there that have many, many more subscribers, but you know, 5,000 is no mean feat, and for me it's absolutely amazing, and I really, really appreciate all of the support that you give me, all the feedback, the lovely comments. I love reading the comments. You know, I love to see if I've inspired you to go out and create your own version of what I've made. You know, if on Facebook, I know there's quite a few of you that share photos and tag me and say, look, I watched your video when I've made this, and it is absolutely amazing. It's lovely to see, and I really, you know, I couldn't ask for more than to know that you've enjoyed this enough to go into your craft room, get out your paints, get out your glues, and go and get creative. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's why I share these projects with you. So as my celebrations, you know, for 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to give this to somebody who leaves me a comment on this video. There's a couple of weeks I'll leave it open for. I'll pop the closing date down in the description below. Just leave me a comment. Let me know what you like about my videos, what you'd like to see maybe. Have you been inspired? What have you made? Just, you know, say hello, let me know where you're from, a little bit about yourself. Whatever you want to leave in your comments, please feel free to do so, as long as it's, you know, within reason, family friendly. And as I say, I'll give it a couple of weeks and I will draw a winner and get in touch to pop this in the post to you. There may be a couple of other crafty goodies to go with it as well. Who knows? I'll see what I can find. I'm sure I've got a few other bits and pieces that I can package up as well. But I just want to say thank you and just show appreciation. I really do appreciate the fact that you're out there and you're watching and you're enjoying it. So for now, I shall clear this out of the way. I shall get on with the tutorial for you, let you watch how I created this, and I'll look forward to seeing your comments at the end. For today's project, I'm going to be using some of the Dina Wakley collage papers. I've got both the pattern papers. This is her first set. I know she's brought out another set recently. And also the collage words. I've also brought along a stencil. This is by 13 Arts. It's called Vintage Damask. It's a really nice, just fine pattern. And I'm going to be decoupaging onto a little wooden plaque. I've got a miniature house shape, little simple house shape. And I've picked out a couple of the papers that I like with the heart print and the text. And one of the collage words, I'm going to use a couple of these phrases on here. I've also got some little chipboard letters. These are by Unwow Studio, and they are like, for want of a better description, like a printer's block. So you get a letter and it fits onto a little background as well. And hopefully I'm going to be able to fit some of those on because they add a little extra dimension. I like that. I'm going to be using matte medium to stick down my collage papers. Modelling paste, that's to go through the stencil, and we're going to be adding some colour as well, and that's going to be using either acrylics or scribble sticks, something like that. But for now I want to get this paper decoupaged onto my wood, give it a quick dry, and then I can get on with stenciling because then the modelling paste needs to dry. So a few processes that'll just take a little bit of time, but I'll edit all that out in this video and we'll just get on and watch the process. So I've decided to use the heart print paper for the background, and yes, you can just apply it in one sheet. I do quite like just to tear it though, and then you can overlap it, and it just gives quite a nice effect. You get the layers, the patterned layers showing through. So just using the matte medium and a paintbrush. Now you could prime this, you could coat it with gesso. I'm not too bothered. I'm going to be popping some colour over it, so I don't really feel the need to put gesso down. But if you want to get a brighter, more opaque background, then you go ahead and do that. It's absolutely fine. But I just begin by applying the matte medium directly to the wood, and then using my paintbrush to sort of press it down and just allowing it to overlap. I'm going to take it round the sides and onto the back. I can always finish the back off with a piece of card. But I do love the sort of translucency that you get with this collage paper. Now that the matte medium's dried, and you can see how you get this nice sort of transparent effect, the collage paper just sort of disappears into the background. But what it's basically done is give us some background interest and pattern that's going to show through the washes of colour that we put onto it. But the first thing I want to do is I want to just add a little extra texture using this stencil. So I've got my modelling paste, and my house is going to go somewhere down here, so I want the pattern of the stencil to be in the opposite corner, and I just use my palette knife just to blob some on, and then I take, this is one of those fake credit cards that you get through the post and the junk mail, and it's really useful to use to squeegee this modelling paste through. So just spread it through the area that you want and lift off the stencil, and then just tidy the edge a little bit, because you always get some that sort of overlaps the edge and you just want to neaten it off. And as you can see there, we've got the design. Now this modelling paste, this is a clear transparent one, so we're going to get the texture without any white when that's what we want here. So I'm just going to go and wash off my stencil, because that's the one thing you don't want, is for this to dry on there. And I'll be right back once this is dried and I'm all cleaned up. Now the modelling paste, it's almost dry. It's still slightly translucent in colour, but it's touch dry and I can paint over it. I'm going to begin by applying some washes of colour. And for this, I've got my Deco Art Media Fluid Acrylics. I've got primary yellow, green gold, cobalt teal hue and cobalt turquoise hue. I love these shades. I do tend to use a lot of blues and greens. And I'm going to have brighter colours on the house, darker colours on the background. So hopefully we get a little bit of contrast. But I'm going to begin with the background and apply some of the green gold. Just pop some in a palette. And the cobalt teal hue. With a little of the cobalt turquoise hue, just to darken it down a bit. And as always with my painting, I'm going to be quite random, blend the colours on the surface as I go. No need to sort of wash the brush because you just want the colours to blend in randomly. It's not an exact science. And just keep going until you're happy and satisfied with the effect. And I just want to highlight some of this texture. I mean, it's really nice. The light catches it. I can see it. But I'm going to use some of the scribble sticks, which are water-soluble crayons, just to sort of create a wash, and that will sit in amongst the modelling paste and highlight that texture. So I really do like these scribble sticks. They're easy to use, water-soluble crayons, great fun. And this is the second set. There are two sets. First set, slightly brighter colours. These are a little more muted tones. And I'm going to be using marine here. And what I'm going to do with the scribble sticks is take a wet brush, I'm going to pick up some colour and apply it to the surface where that modelling paste is. Now, before I attach the house to my background, I want to go around the edge with some ink. Usually if I'm going around the edge of something with ink, I'll use Distress ink, but I'm working over an acrylic paint, so I like to use the archival ink. It's permanent once it's dry, and it dries reasonably quickly. But I do find sometimes just going around the edge just gives a little definition, just frames it, makes it look a little more finished. Helps the colour pop. So I'm just going to go around all edges. And the same on the little house. And it just makes it look just a little more finished. I don't know what it is about a black border, but if at all possible, I do like to use one. So the next thing I'm going to do is glue this house in place onto the background, and then we can get on to putting some words on, and we'll be almost finished at that point. So you can use heavy gel medium and all-purpose glue. This is quite lightweight wood, so I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue. It is really strong, it dries quickly, and it will stick this quite happily. There's no great weight in it, and with it being a nice flat surface, I don't need to use a thick gel glue. So I'm just going to line that up level with the base so that it'll stand flat. And just press that down and allow it to dry. If any does seep out around the edge, it dries clear, you won't be able to notice it at all. I'm just going to go and clean my hands before I get on with the words, as I don't want to smear any paint on there, so I'll be back again in a moment. I've taken the little Unwow Studio chipboards and I've painted them with a coat of black gesso. I've painted both the background and the letters, and I'm going to go over the letters with some of this gilding polish, and I've got this in a nice green yellow that'll tone in really well, and they should then stand out really well against the black backgrounds. I've put 2 of the collage paper words onto a white piece of cardstock. I've just torn them and stuck them down with some matte medium. It's almost dry, and we're going to cut those out in a moment. I did clean my hands up and covered in gesso again, so apologies for the absolute awful state of my hands today. And I don't want to get any of this onto the backgrounds, so I'm applying it before I glue these on. So it's going to get all over me. I do suggest, if you don't like getting your hands in a mess, then put a pair of gloves on, because I mean, it does wash off, but it's going to be all over my fingers before I've finished. And as you can see, this is going to be a really nice contrast against the black. While those letters are drying, I'm going to cut apart these words here. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to use both phrases. I really do want to get them both on there, but I will just try them for size and see if they'll fit. I'm just going to ink around the edges with the black archival ink again. And I'll just move these out of the way. They're almost dry. And really now it's the time just to play about and decide where it's going to look best. I think I'm going to put them somewhat like that. And then my little chipboard letters are going on the house. I'd say this is just about done, but I think I'd like to add the slightest bit of colour to the white of these words. Just it's a little bit stark. So this is just using the ocean coloured scribble stick. Just going to wash a little colour over the top. Doesn't have to be a lot. So the archive link that we've got around the edge is waterproof, so that's not going to move. But we just want to take away from the stark whiteness a little bit. And I will call that one done. That's just taken away some of that harsh whiteness. I'm really impressed with how this has turned out. I like the shine that we've got here. This can be just buffed up with a soft cloth or a bit of paper towel, just in case there's any excess. And that's given a really nice metallic shine. We've got great texture from the stencil. We've got the collage papers showing through the paint. And these are like my favourite colours. I do a lot with these colours and I really like them. I like the sentiments. I think it's important, especially in your art. Be yourself, you know, and do what makes you happy. So if you'd like to win this piece, as I'm celebrating 5,000 subscribers, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you like about my projects, what you'd like to see more of. Let me know, have you been inspired to create your own versions of what you've seen me do? Just say hi, let me know where you are. Always nice to chat to people who have watched the videos. I shall leave it open for a couple of weeks. I'll pop the closing date down in the description below and I'll draw a random winner and I'll be in touch to get your details and post this off to you. Maybe a couple of other crafty goodies in the package, who knows? I'll see what I can find. So for now, that's all. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to see more from me. And I'll be back again shortly with another video. But thanks to everybody who watches, who comes and, you know, watches my videos every week. Really do appreciate your support. It really makes it worthwhile. It's a time-consuming process doing this, and it's lovely to know that it is appreciated. So thanks for all of the love that you send me in your comments. And I'll be back again soon. Bye.